Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing tonight? Hopefully you're hanging with me here. We are, of course, financial advisors, and this is a little segment we do that's called Jazz After Dark. You grab a little drink with me, and tonight I'll be, this is from Flaviar. I don't know if you know this, but we do this in the office. You get these little vials, and then they have these little sample cards, and you can kind of test out different bourbons or tequilas or whatever you like. And so I'll be trying tonight. It's called Few, F-E-W, single malt whiskey, and supposed to be more smoky, spicy, dark chocolate, toasted, cereal, cherry. Oh, I recognize the bottle. I've never had it, but I've seen it. So I hope you'll grab a drink and hang with me. This is more of a laid back kind of a thing here where we're talking about retirement tonight. It fascinates me how many people, clients, right? We have thousands of clients all over the country. How many clients you'll talk to and they're like, yeah, I got a little extra money and let's save it or whatever. And then we look at their retirement plan and we're like, ooh, you're way behind. Now, it doesn't mean you're in trouble. Just what do we do? We have to figure this out. So we're going to cover some of these things here today for what if you are finding yourself, behind the game. What do you do here in 2025 to make the most of it? Ooh, I don't think I like the way that smells. I don't like it. Ooh, I don't like it. I don't recommend it. I don't know what to say here. It's more of like a beer. Not for me. Anyways, let's talk about this. So, I kind of despise the videos where the financial planners come on there and they're like, put more into your IRA. If I could, I would have done that. You know what I mean? But I do want to start today. We'll go over like 3 or 4 things. I want to start today by suggesting that we look at your 401k first. There's actually a lot of changes there. And if you don't have the money, then we'll move on to the other stuff. But in your 401k, especially now with the Roth matching contributions, this is all just changed. This is kind of new. If you know the rules here, like if you're under the age of 50, it's like, okay, I can put 23,500 in. If I'm over the age of 50, I've got 31,000 total that I can put in. New rule, if you're 60, 61, 62, or 63, you could do I don't know if they call it a super catch-up, but 11,250 extra on top of that. So if you have the means to do it and you're really behind, you want to take it seriously, all right, and if you're in that age group there, yeah, okay, these are some big numbers we're starting to throw around. That's the general advice. You guys know that I like the geeky stuff here. So generally, yes, you should probably save money more to your 401k. To get to the geeky side of it, I go, wait, how much more? Specifically, I don't want to oversave, because if I oversave to an IRA or a 401k like we're talking about in this case, that just caused me a tax problem, and I don't want to deal with that later. So know the number of what you're trying to achieve here. Work with somebody, work with an online, Jazz Wealth, or work with, make your own spreadsheet or something. We'll do it all for you, but work with something that gives you the number. Don't oversave. It really creates a big headache, and I don't know why more like advisors don't talk about this. I mean, I get it. That's how we make money, right? If you save more and we grow it and we make more, it's fine. But it really is frustrating when you get older and now me and you are sitting there and it's like, shoot, you saved too much. Well, you told me to save more. I know, but now we have a tax problem and crap. I don't like that. So consider that. So number 1, real general, just getting you started. Know the limits. They have changed, but also know what do you need to do there. Number 2, normally the advice, I'm gonna try that again. Could it be that bad? There's like a weird almond or something in there. Yeah, it's not good. Number 2, general advice out there is advisors will say, well, you're gonna have to work a few years longer. No, you're paying somebody for advice. You've hired a planner, you've hired Jazz Wealth, you've hired whoever. And you go, well, okay, you work longer. Fix it. Come up with a scenario for me that works. Like from The Office, run the numbers again. And the guy goes, yeah, they're still off. No, let's see what the effort is. I will tell you, and again, our sample size of clients is quite large, so it's helpful to see what they do. I will tell you that most people do not actually fully retire. Some do, but as a large sample size, most people still do something that makes money. You know what happens in that last, if you're younger, pay attention for a second. If you're younger, you think, oh, I'm done at 60. I'm going to quit and travel the world or whatever. You know, most people don't do that. And I wouldn't have guessed this. What most people do is in the last year or so before they retire, they start thinking of things they wanted to do. There's a lady out of Georgia right now. She's got a real knack for this, but she takes old furniture and just sands it down and puts a new spin on it. And she films it all. She's online. And one of our clients, and I'm like, you're good at this, first of all. Number two, she likes doing it. Now, she may make $100 or $200 extra in profit on per piece of furniture. But what I'm trying to say is she's essentially got like a kind of quarter-time job. She has income coming in. Now, granted, it's not the salary from when she was, 45 or whatever, but she's making a little extra money. So tip number 2 is don't concede to working 2 years longer. Really think about it. Like, what are you good at? What do you like to do? Or one guy, this is an actual story. One of our clients is based here in Florida, and he is the starter at a golf course. The guy that you go and he says, okay, you tee off in 3 minutes. He loves it. He loves getting up early, seeing people happy. They're playing golf. The guys clinking their drinks together. He gets excited about this. Well, it doesn't pay a lot, but it does pay something. And that substitutes his car insurance at the moment. Well, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it really, really helps. So tip number 2, do not just concede to saying, well, I'll work another year, or I'll tell him I'll do another 2 years or whatever. Tip number 3, okay, this is, kind of a budgeting thing here, I guess, but every dollar counts if you're behind. Now, if you're on track and you're saving and you decide you want to pay for Netflix for 3 of your family members or whatever, fine. Starbucks is what people usually use, like stop Starbucks, whatever. I hear that it's expensive these days. But if you're really behind, we got to look at the expenses. So we might spend some time on subscriptions and things that you pay for. Car insurance. If you do not shop for car insurance, the big companies, they're allowed to, and they do this, they work together to raise your rates because you're not shopping. So you have to shop around, sadly as that sounds. If you do not shop around, they know you're not shopping around, your rate will go up a little bit faster over time. If you shop around, maybe you find a better deal, first of all, but look at that. If I'm going to stop on car insurance for a second, I want you to look at your deductible. If you have your personal finances in order, what are you doing with $100 deductible or something stupid like that? So we got to look at the expenses, and we're going to look at it in a more creative way rather than just say, I'll, go to the other gas station because it's 2 cents cheaper. No, I want to get more creative than that. I don't want to just say stop with the Starbucks or whatever things are going on there. We'll just keep going here. The other thing, I guess this would be number 4. There are, hidden ways you can find savings in your life, right? And like I mentioned a minute ago, maybe it's remodeling your own furniture or something. These are kind of silly here, but TV is basically free these days, unless you have to have Netflix, right? The Super Bowl. I watched the Super Bowl for free. I did not have cable. I don't have cable in my house. I'm not saying that, if you enjoy cable or that's something you want to do, that's fine. But take a look at those types of savings things. I'm not trying to allude to what we just talked about. I'm going to take it a step further and say, when's the last time you looked at your homeowner's insurance? What are you covering? Why is the coverage that way? I tore mine apart when the 2 hurricanes I only knew of 1 hurricane coming. I tore it apart because I had a feeling that there's certain things that weren't going to be covered, and I wanted to know ahead of time. So really take a look at things like that. What are you paying extra money for? The deductible thing that I just mentioned again, it's kind of a hidden savings because, I didn't need to have such a low deductible. Add to that, I'll go back to the retirement type account stuff. What type of account are you saving in? You may be able to save money now by saving in a different retirement account. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but let's take a look at that, because if you end up with an extra dollar in your pocket because you used the regular 401k and chose the Roth match contribution, which is now a thing, maybe that means something different than you going, oh, I'm just going to save in the Roth 401k, take my match to the Roth 401k. Maybe you're ending up with less dollars that way. It's not going to be a lot, so don't let me pretend like this is some scary thing, right? But it may make a difference. And if you're already behind, we're talking, hey, $1 makes a big difference here. I have one more thing. The last thing. Don't forget your house. This may not be you, but most people do not stay in their house when they retire. They downsize. They move to a different state, a more tax-friendly state. The Villages here in Florida is freaking booming, right? Because everybody wants to live there. So don't forget that when you're doing your planning and you're working on, hey, how much do I need for retirement? You may have some equity in your house that does not go to the new house. Maybe it does. Maybe you're a big spender. I don't know. But we can look at something like that as additional savings that may have growth over the long term. All right. So just a few things to think about there. I can't believe this is so bad. No, I can smell it. Just friendly heads up. And I'm sure these are nice people. FEW. That's what it looks like on the back, by the way. FEW single malt whiskey here, 46.5 proof. It's just not for me. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of weird flavors going on in there, and I am not feeling it. So until next time, I hope you've enjoyed your drink and hanging out with me here. If you need help, jazzwealth.com, no strings attached, right? We don't have contracts or gotchas or anything like that. Our investments, our funds are expense-free. We don't charge for that. It's not a thing that we do. And planning with you guys is always included for the life of your service. So I hope you'll check us out at jazzwealth.com. If not, I hope you learned something. And thumbs up, something, nasty comment or funny joke in the comment section would actually be kind of funny for me. So if you do that, that's great. Adios. See you next time.